Hello, welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a romance reading for November 20th. I almost just said September. Can't believe it. It's almost Thanksgiving already. This is a general collective reading, so as always, please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Hope you guys are doing well. Enjoying Pluto in Aquarius. Oh, how sweet is that? I was going to say, I have had a more peaceful day today. The Ace of Swords. So when I was just shuffling, I kind of picked the deck up and it fell from the bottom of the deck. I feel like that's related to that feeling of clarity that I kept getting in the Pluto and Aquarius reading, which is very funny that I was just referencing that. Yeah. I love that. I'm super drawn to the 3 birds. So if this resonates for you, I'm wondering if the number 3 will be significant. And I'm also feeling that Empress energy, with the Empress being the 3rd card of the major arcana. Even the shape of a triangle. So I'm feeling like that 3 is significant. The birds are really sticking out to me. Page of Cups. It's really sweet. I love that energy. We got that in the Pluto and Aquarius reading too. I'm feeling like he's just toasting you. I'm kind of seeing him bowing his head and toasting kind of to your greatness or to an achievement. I'm kind of feeling like this reading is actually maybe a continuation. So I know that we've been talking for 2 minutes, but if this is resonating for you at all and you haven't watched my Pluto and Aquarius transit reading, it might be helpful to go back and watch this one because I'm feeling like this feels like part 2. So it feels like that energy of clarity that I was talking about, that forward movement in the Pluto and Aquarius reading, you gaining that clarity, right? You having that breakthrough. And the Page of Cups just feels like the universe, source energy, God, the angels, whatever resonates for you, just lifting their glass to you and kind of nodding their head and saying dude, job well done. That feels really cool. I feel the sweetness of that gesture. It's really from a very loving heart space, kind of your guides, your guardians, again, God, source, the universe, whatever resonates for you, feeling love for you in the heart of that energy. Yeah, feeling love and pride in you. It's really sweet. What a sweet, lovely energy. 6 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. So it's funny, we had the 8 of Wands. That was actually the first card that had started our Pluto in Aquarius reading. I love it as that sunrise energy. This is one of my favorite tarot decks. It's the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. It's such a beautiful deck. But I'm feeling that sunrise energy again, that fresh new day, and the wands with this power, this creativity, this fire, this passion, this determination and this focus really kind of taking off, right? Being aimed at their destination, taking off and just being in flight in that fiery, determined, passionate energy with the freshness of that new dawn of the sunrise is such a beautiful energy. It really is feeling like that Pluto in Aquarius reading. The 6 of Cups is so sweet to me. It's that energy of innocence and playfulness, and it's a card of kind of reunions. So reunions with energies, people, kind of sweet things from the past, right? Sort of nostalgia and the safety of childhood or of the past. So I feel like that could be part of what you're moving towards. It feels less that clarity and more that kind of the realm of the emotions, right? So that was one of the big, I hope I'm not mixing up my readings. I think it was Pluto and Aquarius. That was one of the big messages of that energy. Because I remember we had the Page of Cups and the King of Cups both right here. One of the big messages was to bring that sort of watery emotion into the other energy that was going on. sort of bringing that emotion, and kind of coming at things from a heart place, right? I think I might be talking about the weekly reading, so whatever. Anyways, there was a reading that had the Page of Cups and the King of Cups up here. And it was about bringing that watery energy, that energy of the emotions into like what was being manifested. And I'm feeling that Six of Cups is relating to, I'm almost seeing the reading as like a phantom reading on my table right now, that Pluto and Aquarius. But the Six of Cups is relating to those, where it's kind of that almost kind of passing through that clarity back into the heart space, right? Back into your depths, back into maybe where things are like a little bit more challenging or not so clear, but that's like where the juicy good stuff is. And that's what I'm feeling, is like you got that clarity, you had this big breakthrough, the universe is toasting you, these wands are blazing forward, and it's like you kind of broke the surface of the water, you take a big deep breath, and you're just diving in again, into like the depths of your soul to be doing more work here. I feel that, the healing work. I love the Five of Wands in this deck. So usually this is a card that feels very like egoic for me and like full of conflict. But in this particular deck, this energy to me feels like an energy of collaboration. So I often feel it more as like the opposite, where you're kind of overcoming ego, overcoming petty conflicts, to this place where you're bonding with a community. You're sort of, you're involved in like some teamwork, right? Because they together as a team, they're all holding these wands and creating this sort of shape that these beautiful flowers are growing off of. It's really pretty. It feels like collaborating and creating something together. So I'm feeling called to say that could be like you actually co-creating something with maybe coworkers or friends or something like that. But what's resonating most strongly to me is you partnering with God, you partnering with different pieces of yourself, and maybe even pieces of yourself that you feel are like long lost from childhood. So it could be the pieces of yourself that are playful, that feel light, that are adventurous. Like I'm feeling called to ask, like, what are the things that you loved about yourself as a child? Like, I know for me as a little girl, I was very whimsical and very dreamy. I had a huge imagination, and I would spend like all of my free time in the woods, just wandering around, harvesting plants, like planting them in this garden in this fort that I had. Like I was always building a little wood house, like I was a little fairy elf. And that's something that I love about myself when I was a child, and I definitely still have a lot of that in me as an adult. But it feels like that kind of collaborating, allowing that energy. For me, I'll give this as the example. For me, getting in touch with that little fairy elf piece of me and collaborating with her, right? Kind of overcoming the ego. Like even as I was talking about it, I'm sure you guys could hear in my voice, I felt a little self-conscious sharing that. That's that Five of Wands energy, where you could listen to the ego, or you could be collaborating with this very powerful part of yourself. Different pieces of yourself from the past, and co-creating together to make something beautiful. That feels really cool. It feels like pulling something out of, I'm feeling the Six of Cups as a bit cloudy or murky, or kind of less clear. I'm really drawn to the fact that she's really deep in the water, and the water, there's not like a lot of light there. And then between these two blazing fire cards, it's just really sticking out to me that she's kind of in the depths. She's kind of in like a murky place. It feels like going there and kind of allowing those pieces of you that are maybe kind of lost in this murky place within your consciousness, allowing them to come out into the light. I'm really attracted to the blazing light of the fire in these cards. It's really beautiful. What a cool energy. What else do you have to say to the folks in this collective for their romance journey, God? The Knight of Wands and the Seven of Cups. That's funny. I was just thinking, like, this is another one of those where I feel like, I mean, for me, my romance journey is the same thing as my spiritual journey. So that feels like this resonates for me. So if you are on your twin flame journey, right? Your twin flame is the person who was created basically as your ascension partner, kind of the person who can partner with you like in your spiritual work, and you grow together and help each other with your ascension. So it's feeling like this to me, where it's about romance, but it's about doing that deep inner work within yourself, which kind of allows your twin flame, your romance partner, to be attracted to you. It's a cool feeling. The Knight of Wands to me, though, is such like a passionate energy, but I feel like with the Seven of Cups, he's like a little bit confused. I just heard like misplaced passion. So that's feeling really interesting. The energy that I'm getting here in this row, like I said, it feels like diving in. It's like very inward focused, which again is similar to some energy that we got from the Pluto and Aquarius reading. The Knight of Wands could be, like, speaking of twin flames, it could be you focusing on a romantic energy outside of yourself, which is really not what the twin flame journey is about. So I don't know if this will resonate for everyone. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there about twin flames, and the connection being like unachievable or whatever, toxic. Like none of that is actually true. So I take this if it resonates. If not, don't even worry about it, right? But that's what I'm feeling for this. Is feeling like this is feeling very twin flamey. And I feel like this could be you in this Knight of Wands energy, where you're feeling very passionate and kind of outwardly focused. And it's kind of confusing things, because with twin flames, if you are overly focused on them or getting something from them, that's actually like a repelling energy. I used to find this concept very triggering. So think of how to describe it in like the least triggering way possible, right? But it's like magnets, and I can't remember if it's the same pole. I think it's the same pole, right? Where they kind of repel each other, where they kind of bounce off of each other. But then if you flip it around and you get the opposite poles, I think those are the ones that are like magnetic to each other. But this feels kind of like that repelling energy where you're like charging in and you're like, I'm going to do the thing. It kind of feels like full of ego and full of like, full of determination to do the thing that you think that you should do, rather than surrendering to what the universe wants you to do, right? I feel like this guy thinks he has better ideas than like source, the universe, God energy. So I feel like the Seven of Cups is that just sort of muddying things up and making it a little bit confusing. I wonder if maybe that's where I'm feeling some of that kind of murky energy too. It's really interesting. I feel like if you're in this collective, whatever this is that's going on inside of your romance journey, whether you're actually in a relationship or you're just doing the healing to be in the relationship that you want to be in, it feels significant, because it feels like I'm almost seeing like a fishing pole. It feels like you're fishing down into the depths. You're diving into those murky depths, right? And I feel like I'm almost feeling the water like soothing this Knight of Wands. Like it's going to soothe this. It's kind of like an ego part of you that feels like you know better. It's good. I feel like that energy is going to get soothed here by the water. And then what needs to come up, what's meant to come up, what's really you, is able to kind of come out of those depths. That's a cool energy. I just love this Page of Cups. I keep seeing him animated and like nodding at me as he's raising that cup. All right, God, what advice do you have for the folks in this collective? I'm feeling like the advice so far on this side that I'm getting is just to surrender, like surrendering to going into your depths, to sort of those murky places, feels more aligned with your highest good right now versus like charging forward or taking some sort of action on the outside. Because again, I feel like that's just kind of muddying things up a little bit with some confusion. Doesn't feel like an effective, feels like misdirected energy. It doesn't feel like an effective use of your time and energy. What advice do you have for the folks in this collective for their romance journey this week, God? That was funny. They like flung over my shoulder. Yeah, I feel like this is exactly, that's so funny. Okay, thank you for the extraordinarily clear message here, God. So we have the Hermit and the Two of Swords. So I was just saying, I feel like this Knight of Wands energy is kind of misaligned here. And that sort of charging forward and trying to take this like egoic action doesn't feel good. And then I get the Hermit and the Two of Swords. So the Hermit is all about being alone and just being cool with it and going into your own depths, right? Exploring your own soul, your own consciousness, your own heart. Really taking some space kind of from life, even for like a period of time, right? To do some really deep inner work. The Hermit is a character who really retreats from society in order to just be with himself and be with God, right? And do the healing. I always feel called to point out that like the light in his lantern for me is such a beacon of hope, and it always reminds me of the Star card. The Two of Swords I feel like is the universe saying, dude, don't do anything. Like the Hermit says, go be by yourself for a little while. The Two of Swords says, take no action. Oftentimes it's kind of like an energy of like a stalemate or being stuck, but I don't feel that in this one at all. The Hermit and the Two of Swords together is very funny. It's exactly what I was saying about this Knight of Wands. So any sort of trying to force things to happen, that's a good way to say this. He's trying to force things to happen. He's like kind of determined to do things his way, to get what he wants, the way he wants to get it. He wants it right now. And he's going to like move forward and make it happen. It almost feels like a misaligned emperor where it's like this, how would you say it? It's like a tyrannical energy, right? Where this guy thinks he's like all powerful. And I feel like the universe wants you to remember that like, you're not the boss of the universe. Like God, source, the universe, that's the boss of the universe. You are the commander, right, of your own spiritual journey. And that's kind of the thing that like you have some control over, although you're still co-creating it with God, right? But if you want to be in this charging energy, do it as you're charging into the Six of Cups, not trying to make something happen in the external. So this to me would be an energy of like, you like, I'll go back to the twin flame example. You think you know who your twin flame is, right? You have those feelings in your heart. You're getting all the signs. Everything feels so magical. So you are like charging forward, telling this person that they're your twin flame, hounding them for a date. Like you just decided that that's your person. They're going to act the way that you want. And that's it. You're going to have your union. This energy is like, it feels very forceful. I'm like really attracted to the club in his hand. It's like the old energy of like a cave person, like a caveman clubbing a cave woman and then like dragging her to his cave, right? It's not an attractive energy at all. I feel the universe saying like, I'm proud of you for having that determination. Like that determination is a very special quality. It's a really good quality, but it's just being misdirected. So the Hermit and the Two of Swords are saying, basically, go somewhere and chill out and don't do anything. There's nothing for you to do on the outside. Yeah. I feel like this is just further reinforcing that. The Queen of Coins is that. She's a queen who kind of sits back and allows everything to come to her. She is absolutely not chasing anybody. I feel like I've said that about her before, right? She knows her value. She is peaceful. She's calm. She's grounded. She's well provided for, right? So when it comes to manifestation, I talked about this in one of the recent readings where the way that it works is you kind of get to the vibration emotionally of the thing that you want to manifest. And then the universe has no other choice but to bring that manifestation into you because you're a vibrational match for it. So she just does her inner work and until she becomes a match for the thing that's meant for her. And then it comes to her, right? She's not charging in, clubbing anybody over the head. She's chilling in this cool field with her pentacle. And she knows her value. That feels really sweet. I like the Six of Wands in this card too. Speaking of someone who knows their value, like look how proud and beautiful she is. And I mean that word proud with no ego. I don't get that feeling from her at all. It's like she knows that she is divine and amazing and powerful, and she knows her value, and she's just owning it. What a cool energy. So this is feeling like a big glow up energy to me, kind of you recognizing your divinity and, like I said, your value. Recognizing that when it comes to this romance journey for you, it's not about chasing somebody down, clubbing them over the head and dragging them back to your cave, right? It's about you doing this inner work. It's about you having this beautiful glow up. Like that fire energy in these two cards is still so beautiful to me. The light, the glow is so beautiful to me. Let yourself have this glow up. Let yourself do this healing, and let what's meant to be yours be attracted to you. You know, it feels way nicer than being clubbed over the head and dragged into a cave. We have the Five of Coins and the Four of Wands. Yeah, I feel like if you are in this collective, you are just feeling a lot of sadness that your dreams have not manifested yet. So again, like, I'll just go back to the example about twin flames, right? A twin flame connection is very different from like a soulmate connection. I don't usually talk about this much, but this is what's coming up in the reading tonight. So we're just going to go with it. So with a soulmate, right? You could get clear that you have maybe some similar values, that you're both willing to commit and work through things. And that would be like a really healthy soulmate relationship, right? It could be one that lasts for your lifetime, right? Maybe you guys are like really wonderful soulmates and you come together in multiple lifetimes, right? With twin flames, it's every lifetime. You're like connected, and that connection is there and it's unbreakable. So it's a, how do I explain this? I think a maybe simple way to explain it is that it's a deeper connection. So it requires more spiritual work to create that connection and also to maintain it. So what I'm feeling here is that you may have like friends who are getting married, right? Who are kind of in this Four of Wands energy, or maybe you watch romantic movies or read books where it's like happily ever after and these people are getting married, and you're kind of in this Five of Coins energy where you're sort of left out in the rain, being rained on all by yourself, right? You kind of feel like everybody else is getting the thing that you want and you're like left out in the cold with nothing. I'm feeling called to say that it's just an illusion. It's all just an illusion. But I feel like it doesn't feel that way to you. That's a really intense energy. If you're in this collective, you might even be to the point of like depression about this, where maybe you've been on your journey for quite some time, doing your work and dedicated and just kind of not seeing the fruits of your labor. That's a tough energy. I'm feeling like this reading is showing you that the movement is coming and the good things are coming, and like I think deep in your heart you know that, right? But you kind of have to go deep within to this murky place. I feel like there's some pieces of yourself that you're just still not in touch with, and I do feel like it has to do with your childhood, sort of the pure essence of like who you used to be right? Before society told you who you were supposed to be, before your parents laid a bunch of expectations on you. Like, who is sort of that pure, innocent piece of yourself that you were as a child? I feel like bringing that piece of you up and integrating that piece of you is a big part of what helps you sort of have this glow up as an adult, right? So it's kind of funny, but like integrating that child energy actually matures you, like on an emotional and spiritual level. This is an interesting reading. The Hermit in the Two of Swords is the funniest. I totally love that. Yeah, I really feel this as you with that Five of Coins energy is just feeling really left out. And the Four of Wands, I mean, I feel like that's confirmation, so thank you, God, for that. The Four of Wands is the Twin Flame card, so you can see, I mean, not only is it like a divine partnership, right? But there's 1111, so the two sets of pillars make 1111, and 1111 is an important twin flame number, so that number might resonate for you. But yeah, I feel like that just is confirming my read and that I was talking about this as a twin flame connection. I feel like the whole thing is saying don't give up and do your inner work. And that there's some sort of special part of you from childhood that is just calling to be integrated. I feel like that joyful part of you wants to like rejoin you and do life with you, right? And just inviting that part of you in. So I have some Lover's Oracle cards. I can't show you some of these pictures because they have nudity on them, but this one says, give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. Yeah, I feel like that's just a message of hope for this collective, like knowing that even though, I mean, this card, I feel like I want to give this card a hug. Like the energy coming off of it is very sad. But being able to give yourself a little bit of hope and just know that as you continue to do your inner work and keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're making progress, even though it's not being reflected on the outside yet. My spiritual teachers talk about this concept that when you see something good happening for somebody, right? When you see that somebody has something that you want, you can say, that's for me too. So instead of feeling depressed or jealous that the folks around you are having some success in love, to just claim that and say, that's for me too, right? This union, that's for me too. And being able to give yourself like a spark of hope. I'm actually attracted to the little flame in the Hermit's lantern as that spark of hope, right? And I feel like if you just give yourself a little spark, the universe wants to help you ignite it into a huge bonfire. Like I keep talking about the fire over here. But that's something that you can choose for yourself, right? Is to have that little spark of hope. We have this card here. It says reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Yeah, I feel like that really resonates. This is, like I said with that Knight of Wands, this is not a reading that's encouraging you to go out and take action with this person. This is very much, I felt like I had read a similar energy when Pluto went into retrograde. I feel like you're kind of going back into your past, scooping up this piece of yourself that's really important and that wants to be integrated with you, kind of integrating her into who you are now and being able to move forward with that piece as part of you. I kind of feel like you have to go back and get that piece of you and heal her, right? And love her and let her be part of your journey forward. She's really calling out to be with you. That's a powerful energy. And like I said, I feel like it helps you get into this glow up energy, which is what is attractive, right? This chasing and clubbing someone over the head and forcing and controlling, like very not attractive energy. But these ladies here just completely owning their divinity and in their power and so proud and really seeing themselves as worthy, kind of seeing themselves clearly. That energy is really attractive. That's cool. Alrighty, well, I hope that this reading was helpful. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, or leave me a comment if you wish, as all of those things help me as I'm growing my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye.